Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you've been having a great weekend. And believe it or not, we've got another set of updates to go over regarding this ongoing situation with a number of SAG-AFTRA voice actors and how they've been getting a ton of backlash from the internet at large, but especially the Genshin Impact community, who has done a great job of exposing these people. This is now like the fourth video I've made on this topic, the last three all around 15 to 19 minutes long or so. And at this point in time, there's just way too much to recap here in the intro without being like extremely long-winded and redundant. So hopefully you are in the loop with what's been going on, but if you don't know about any of this stuff, please consider watching my prior videos. And or you can even just go to like the Genshin Impact subreddit, look at the top posts from the last week, and scrolling through that, you should see plenty of information, although some of those posts were apparently getting mass reported by the defenders of these corrupt VAs to try and get the information taken down and censored. It does seem like since then, some of those posts have actually been reinstated by the Genshin Impact moderators though, but just know that's been an ongoing issue too. Alright, so thanks for your patience. Now on to the new stuff. We're going to start with something very amusing. I think you guys are going to find this hilarious. So I got this tag from Enthusiasm. Thank you for the tag. And it says, "Hey Hero Hey, check this out. Absolute cinema of failed damage control." And that takes us to a top post on our Genshin Impact from 14 hours ago titled, "A voice actor came on Reddit arguing why Jacob," that being Jacob Takanashi, the new VA for Kenichi / Mihoyo, were in the wrong. Mihoyo, of course, referring to like Hoyoverse, Genshin Impact, etc., etc. After having all their points refuted, they, the voice actor, deleted their entire account. Yeah, go figure. It's even worse than that though, because this person originally went to our Genshin Impact trying to do this damage control and it didn't work there. Everyone calling him out and exposing his lies. Then he went over to the Gacha Gaming subreddit and tried it there, where the Gacha Gaming community at large also exposed this person's lies. People then claim that they tracked down this VA's Blue Sky account, and on the Blue Sky account we'll take a look at in a moment, we can see that VA saying that the whole Genshin Impact subreddit deserves to be banned, and also reposting posts from other Blue Sky VAs that are essentially advocating for non-union VAs to get harassed. We'll get to all that. First, let's take it from the top. So he makes this attempted damage control post filled with a bunch of misleading information and gaslighting. The exact same stuff these people have already tried over the last few days that we already talked about here on the channel has been refuted over and over again. And so going right to the top responses to him, we can see comments like this. "Why does every voice actor or SAG shill come here with, but did you know Taft-Hartley? Do you think it'll magically solve all our concerns?" Like anyone who reads one single thread regarding VA drama in the sub is aware of Taft-Hartley and how complicated it actually is, the 3-time limit in 90 days and so on. Yet they chime in thinking we know nothing about Taft-Hartley. How ignorant are they? Koi went dead silent when they asked about that. Funniest stuff ever. Not only that, his sign first, negotiate later comment, like buddy, that's not how it works. You negotiate the terms first, so both parties know what they are signing and what is expected of each of them. Funny how they all say the exact same thing, almost like they received a guide telling them what to say in their posts, then disappear when they're asked the problematic questions. They're 100% receiving their talking points from SAG-AFTRA. They always say, "Stop spreading misinformation," and "This is for AI protections," but then don't elaborate when asked further questions or are vague about it. Like, what? It's you guys spreading misinformation. They sound like freaking robots at this point, regurgitating the same spiel every time. The voice actor who made this post is probably reading this right now and getting people to report this post as we speak. Edit, Sean Laraway, the poster, changed his Blue Sky description to "Genshin Impact is cringe" because he's all mad. This is peak comedy. Link for anyone who wants a chuckle. It always ends with them trashing on the game. This is childish. Yeah, another great example of this recently was Shara Kirby and her giant rant she made on Blue Sky. And so speaking of Blue Sky, let's hop over to the Blue Sky account linked in that Reddit post, where people allege that's the VA who made that whole damage control thing over on Reddit. Here's the post I was mentioning earlier. He says, "The Genshin Impact subreddit deserves to be banned at this point." Freaking hilarious and pathetic, of course. And then he's also reposting this Blue Sky post from another voice actor that reads, "Much like how a tolerant group must still be intolerant towards intolerance, a cornerstone of union culture is making sure that scabs, regardless of any sort of legal justifications for what they did, feel constant scorn, shame, and derision for willingly betraying their fellow workers. Piss off." He then continues to rage and then reference Jacob Takanashi, insulting the dude, and basically trying to get people to harass him. But then you really had voice actors like Little Karibo and Kiba Walker the other day, basically trying to say that, "Oh, no voice actors are trying to get you harassed, Jacob. That's not happening." Meanwhile, now they're the ones trying to play victim. Many people viewing this as a desperate attempt at further damage control, seeing how the narratives that they've been trying to spin have completely completely shattered and how much public goodwill they've lost. And so ultimately the VA, who made that our Genshin Impact post that completely flopped, that people are alleging is that Larway person, then ran over to the our Gotcha Gaming subreddit to make basically the same post, trying to damage control there, but it turns out public reception is the same he got over on our Genshin Impact, with people calling out his nonsense, and top comments like, anytime a random VA appears to explain the so-called AI protection quote-unquote, they completely disappear and refuse to say anything once you bring the issue of interim agreement that they want to force companies to sign. I wonder why. Edit, I woke up and he already deleted his account, as expected, lol. He went to the Genshin Impact subreddit, got all of his points refuted, deleted his account, then changed his Blue Sky description to Genshin Impact is cringe. Quick side note, I thought he went to Genshin Impact and then Gotcha Gaming, but maybe it was the other way around. Either way, same outcome, you get the point. And then this response to that says, absolutely loser behavior. Another top comment reading. I'm pretty sure they received talking points from SAG to gaslight us that joining them is for the greater good. Gee, that phrase sounds familiar, and it doesn't have any malicious undertones behind it. Anyways, because of them attacking Jacob and labeling him a scab, Genshin Impact players developed the legendary skill of literacy and decided to do what they want, which is to do some research. Too bad what we were able to find when combing the agreement is malicious and sounds like they want to monopolize the entire EN dubbing space. And since the genie is now out of the bottle, they're trying really hard to convince us that it's good for a VA to join the Film Actors Guild. And no, it's not a monopoly. Stop looking at our documents. There's shooting yourself at the foot, and then there's blowing yourself up with a bazooka. And finally, going back to Sean Laraway's Blue Sky account, we can see the bio now reads, "We'll always pick on scabs." Oh yeah, these people are so brave, having a giant union like SAG-AFTRA backing them and their whole clique, as they pick a single individual, Jacob Takanashi, to bully and harass. This is all going so poorly for the union voice actors that there's now top posts on our Genshin Impact like this one from just 1 hour ago, saying if half of the characters get recast, then so be it. I used to be for the VA strike in that AI was the initial threat to their livelihoods. Now as the truth unfolds, this whole strike is just a Trojan horse for Western companies to stick their grubby little hands into a piece of the pie. This outburst from specific VAs is no coincidence. They've probably been feeling this way for a while, and now that there is an outlet, they thought this would be a great chance to rally the troops. Well, now it has completely backfired, and the only thing to show is that some of these VAs are petty and completely unprofessional. Yeah, quick side note, that's something a lot of us have known for years about the Western VA industry, but it's good that more people are becoming aware of that, so continuing. Most VAs are considered lucky to work on a consistent project that is aimed to last for several years, and you're a recurring character. I'd say that Hoyo has waited long enough, and the gloves should come off. If half the characters get recast, then so be it. I would rather see Hoyo put their foot down and put a halt to the EN dubbing side, sort out the VAs that are still upholding their professionalism, and get rid of the rest. We don't need that toxicity here. It's already bad enough that the game gets enough of a divided reputation. Now the VAs are not helping. They need to go. It's all fun and games until EN players stop spending because the characters are inconsistently voiced. Now that we know what's really going on, it's safe to say they are already doing that. A top comment reading, do a power play. Realize you don't have any power. All of your VAs get recast. Video game companies will now hire non-union VAs to avoid you. Huh? It makes one wonder what the heck SAG-AFTRA was thinking about going against the $187 billion a year industry that can and will hire VAs from other countries. The video game industry is not Hollywood. Well, you know, the sad fact of the matter is a lot of the Genshin Impact community for a while was supporting these VAs and their agenda without questioning anything. Like, it was going well for them for a minute there. It's really over the last 6 to 4 months or so where things began to start crumbling for them. That's basically when the cracks started to appear as more and more people began to look into what was really going on. And then more recently with the harassment of Jacob Takanashi, that's what really caused everything to reach this boiling point, facilitating the overall community to turn against these union voice actors. And the last thing that we'll take a look at in this video is SAG-AFTRA themselves over on Twitter. The official account for SAG-AFTRA trying to publicly drum up some support as they reach out to Genshin Impact, saying, what Anaris Q said. At Genshin Impact, at Honkai Star Rail, at ZZZ. We'll make it easy for you. Here's a link to our interactive/video game media agreements. Let's talk soon, a wink. Following the recurring theme that we've seen so far, this also ended up going terribly for them as they got this community note added to it, which reads, this agreement has severe limitations on how MiHoYo can work with non-union voice actors, including a lifetime time limit for the voice actor and eventually forcing the voice actor to either join the union, which has large entry costs and fees, or stop working on the project. SAG-AFTRA had also used this message from Anaris as we saw, quote tweeting it, so let's check out that message too. Voice actress Anaris Q saying, Hey Genshin Impact at Honkai Star Rail at ZZZEN. We English VAs would love to get back to work. I know the fans miss hearing their fave Karas, and we miss voicing them. Please negotiate with SAG-AFTRA and sign the interim agreement to guarantee AI protections for us. That message also getting the community note, which points out how, yeah, there's a lot more to all this than just the AI protections that these people seem to keep trying to manipulate the public sentiment with. And getting responses such as Madam Savvy saying, so how's the community note feel? And TKA Dem saying, don't they have to drop all non-UN VAs when they sign the agreement? As well as this one from Jasper saying, what's your take on the VAs who bully and verbally assault other VAs? And Daenerys making this follow-up tweet that then says, there's way too many bad faith comments and misinfo. So for now, please refer to this thread for correct information. I concur with everything stated. And linking to a thread by Koi Dao, which many people have also refuted and we've discussed in previous videos. Which, by the way, this whole SAG-AFTRA tweet thing happened on March 26, so I'm a bit late to covering this one, my apologies. And the last thing to take note of really quick is that despite some voice actors, like the really angry ones that we discussed earlier in the video, it seems like a lot of the VAs who've been publicly talking about this stuff have gone radio silent over the last 24 to 48 hours. It's rather interesting. Perhaps they're trying to come up with their next line of rhetoric or something. Or maybe it's just coincidence that they all began to go radio silent at the same time, all dealing with the loss of goodwill in their own ways. Who knows for sure? Yeah, let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my coverage. And if you did, please consider liking and or subscribing to the channel. Have a great week ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.